Okay, hello there. Welcome to Advanced A&P, the summer section. My name is Kevin Yoakum, and I'm going to be your instructor. Now, this is an OSync course. Actually, no, it's not. It's async. It's an asynchronous online course. So there are no set meeting times. So if you do need to meet with me, we can meet in Zoom. Just send me an email and we can get everything straightened out. I just want to give you a quick tour of Blackboard and kind of what to expect for this semester. So as with all of your Blackboard courses, the headline page or the opening page is going to be the course announcements. So we're going to be at the home page for announcements. That's where you'll always start. I did send a welcome email the other day, so that's there, and those will be contained there throughout the semester. So, and then there's also a link to the course YouTube channel, and then an older intro video from this spring. Now, once you're in Blackboard, there are a couple spots that you can go. There's the syllabus and instructor info. So there, my information is there. I do have an office on campus. It's in the Elkhorn North building, E221. However, because we do meet or we don't meet, everything's done online, I do have set office hours in Zoom for Wednesdays between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. But again, if you do need to meet in Zoom for any reason and these times don't work, just send me an email. We can schedule something that does work. So anyway, that's that info there, and the Zoom link to or the link to my Zoom office is right here as well. And then I also put a hyperlink over here in Blackboard, so you can find it that way. The course syllabus is in here, so click that and open it. It has all of the basic info that you need. You may not really use the syllabus or refer to it that much. You can print it off if you'd like, but it's certainly not necessary. The start date is May 23rd, and we end on August 13th. And again, this is an online asynchronous course. This is my office phone number and email. Again, you can reach me and get a response very quickly via email. So that is my preferred method of communication. And again, there's another link to my Zoom room. A couple other tidbits. This is advanced A&P, so all of you have had general, and you went through pretty much hopefully all of the body systems, or at least most of them, and discuss some of the basic structures. Now, this semester, we kind of go back through a lot of those structures and a lot of those body systems, but we talk about different functions that take place. So, so it's a little more chemistry, a little more on the micro scale. We do use the same OpenStax textbook, so you can certainly order a hard copy of that on Amazon or eBay, but you can access OpenStax through this link. And then McGraw-Hill Connect. If you haven't purchased that, I would recommend doing that either through the Gateway Bookstore and Follett, or you can go directly to McGraw-Hill and purchase it from them. So if you click on this link, it'll take you out to kind of a registration sign-in spot for this course. So again, this is what should come up, and then you can log in or create an email and create an account that way. Okay. Let's see, they do have, I believe it's a 2-week free trial. So all of the labs are open right now, and they'll be open until August 13th. If you could get all, I think there's about 16-ish labs done in 2 weeks. Some students do. If you can get them all done in 2 weeks, you could maybe do the free trial. try to get them done that way. And if you don't get them done, then just pay for it and take your time and get them done that way. But anyway, that's one way to go about it. The course outcome summary link is there as well. The rest of this info is the typical items that you would see on any Gateway syllabus. Now, so you can read about that if you'd like, tuition refund and competencies and that. Course attendance and participation policy. Again, it's fully online, so you're not expected to do anything really except log in to Blackboard and do a little bit of work. I would recommend at least once a week logging into Blackboard. If not once a day. You definitely should probably check your emails at least once a day, or at least maybe you get notifications on emails. I don't send a heck of a lot of them out, but you might get emails from other instructors or other departments at Gateway. Course grading policy, you can see the course is out of 1,200 points. So I think all of you need around a B. So right around that 1,000 point mark, 995-ish, that's where you probably need to be. Let's see, you have 4 different activities or 4 categories of activities, I guess you would say. You do have a little Padlet entry and a short questionnaire to go with it. And then you'll have 12 keys, will be 12 of those, 10 points apiece. And then your case studies, there are going to be 12 of those, and there are 20 points apiece, and there'll be drop boxes for each of those. And then your McGraw-Hill labs, there are actually more than 12, but there are 12 units. A couple of the units, I put 2 small ones for kind of a twofer. So I think we end up doing roughly 16 or so of those. And then finally, there are 12 exams. Now, and I'll talk about it in more detail in a second, but I want to mention the exams are unlimited attempts. Your highest score is kept, and they are not timed. So having said that, you can go through and take your exams as often as you'd like. The questions are from a large pool of questions. I have the pools in the exam review section in Blackboard. So you're certainly would want to review and go through those questions maybe before you take the exam. But again, if some students, even if they take it once and do well, they want to take it multiple times because they want to see different questions. Most of these questions that you'd see in the exam are going to be similar to what you would see for the NCLEX and for the T's if you haven't done that yet. Course end date, Saturday, August 13th. The last day for you to drop is June 7th. Now, last day to drop, I think that just means you don't get any, it doesn't ding your attempt, credits attempted. So your academic progress doesn't really get affected if you do decide to drop. Later in the semester on July 27th is the last day to withdraw. So if you get to July 27th, that's about 2 weeks before the class ends, and you realize that you're just not going to be able to make it, you may want to consider withdrawing. That does give you a W grade instead of an F. Now, again, please do not withdraw or drop the course without emailing me first. We could potentially work something out with a time extension or whatever. So either way, please try to stay on top of things. There really is, as we kind of now segue into the course calendar here, there's a link as well, but I also put the calendar in here. I have this broken down into weeks. The module 1 is the first 4 weeks, module 2 is the next 3 weeks, and so on. So generally, I don't have any specific due dates. The color coding I have would be kind of suggested, I guess, kind of points of when you would want to be kind of tidying up your units and your modules. So again, week 1, this week, you're going to want to, so basically the nervous system is pretty extensive. Unit 1, Module 1 is pretty extensive. So the first 2 weeks, and plus you're kind of getting acclimated to the course. So really the first 2 weeks you'll spend doing your nervous system activities, including the Padlet case study, McGraw-Hill lab, and your exam. So sometime by the end of week 2, you should probably have Unit 1 done, and so on down the line. So again, these are suggestions. They're kind of mile markers. Some of you like to keep calendars and like to kind of keep track of kind of what you're doing and how much time you need to get it done. So anyway, this kind of lays that out for you. But know that there aren't any specific due dates except for August 13th. You need to have everything completed by then. Now, I wouldn't, my advice, and I've seen it all when it comes to the approach that students take. So I don't know what approach works best for you, but I will tell you that pretty much the 3 approaches, and I'm sure there are many more, but these are the most common 3 approaches. One approach is going week by week, exactly how I have it set up. So you do Unit 1 over the first week to 2 weeks, Unit 2 is, and so on. So you can stay on this pattern and get into kind of a routine. That's the most recommended and probably the most utilized way of doing this course. Other students, and everything is open, by the way, so which leads me to the next way of doing this. Some students decide that they want to get all of this done in as little time as possible, and they may take on this course and get it completed in about 4 weeks. So you have a lot to do in 4 weeks, but you could get it done, or 7 weeks or whatever. So either way, if you decide to start working on things now, getting the ball rolling, that's definitely recommended as well. And you may find that you can get a lot of this stuff done within 4 to 7 weeks potentially. Again, I don't know what your schedules are, so, and how busy you are, but that certainly is an option. And then lastly, the third way that students go about this, and this is the least desirable and least recommended, and that is waiting until the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks of the semester, and they start working sometime after 4th of July. So again, not recommended that you just say, well, there's no due date except August 13th. I'm going to just wait and take this and do my stuff later on in the summer. Trust me, that rarely works out that well for the student. So again, I would recommend either sticking to the path that I have laid out. That's a very good path that most students tend to really appreciate. So, but if you're not going to do that, you certainly can start getting stuff done sooner than later. But if you do get finished with the course early, a week early, a day early, a month early, know that I don't put the grades into the registrar until I can't put them in individually. I have to put them in all at once. So you wouldn't get your official grade from the registrar in your student account until after August 13th. I would submit grades no later than August 15th. So you would probably see your official grade in in your transcripts by maybe like August 16th or 17th. So even if you finish next week, you'd still have to wait till then to see that grade. So anyway, the rest of this, I think you can kind of go through on your own and take a peek if you'd like. So let's keep the ball rolling. Textbook info again. That's the next tab. The Zoom office, like I did skip over, and that'll just take you right into the Zoom room where we are now. So the textbook information, again, you've got the OpenStax textbook, and then McGraw-Hill info if you're unsure how to access that. I do have the link to both OpenStax and McGraw-Hill here in Blackboard. So if you click that McGraw-Hill link, it'll take you out to that course. Now, once you register, so let's talk about the labs real quick. once you register for McGraw-Hill, you don't have to click this to go into that every single time you do a lab. You don't have to go into McGraw-Hill every single time to do your labs. You can get there directly from this labs practice tab. So I'm going to open that real quick. And there you have your labs. So they're populated already in Blackboard. So you can just click labs and then go right into, in fact, this is what I would recommend you do, because then once you finish the lab, it'll automatically populate your grade into the Blackboard grade book. Whereas if you access your labs from McGraw-Hill every time and then do them through here, these links will take you to here. So, well, it'll take you to the actual lab. But my point is, if you access them through Blackboard, they'll automatically grade and populate. If you access them through McGraw-Hill, then I go into McGraw-Hill and grade them, and I don't get any notifications about when you have submitted into McGraw-Hill. So anyway, my point is, just go access your labs through Blackboard. Everything you do in this course, you want to access really through Blackboard. So anyway, next up, McGraw-Hill lab registration, the OpenStax text link is also in there. So it'll take you right to the A&P text. Now, again, you can order a hard copy or a print copy if you'd like. It takes you to Amazon. I think it's like 30 to 50 bucks maybe. So anyway, that's OpenStax. There are student resources as well. You can click on that and it'll provide you with some other resources as well. So let's continue on. Most of the rest of this, I think you can navigate and figure out on your own. I just really wanted to make a couple of things clear so you didn't feel or not feel any anxiety, but this course, it'll give you anxiety just saying the name of it. But anyway, you'll be fine. Just stick to the plan, stick to the pattern that I have laid out. If you do that, you can manage your time nicely. Anywhere between 4 and 6 hours, I would say, a week is about what most students spend. Some spend 10 hours per unit. Some spend 2 or 3. Everybody's different, but that's generally what I've seen. So anyway, these are how-to videos in YouTube, so you can click those. I go through how to do a Dropbox for the case studies, how to use Padlet, how to take the exam. So if you're unsure on how to do those, you may want to watch those. I do have a course YouTube playlist link as well. If you click that, and I'll put this video in there. I do have, like I said, the January video is in there. So I'll put our May video in there as well as soon as it's done uploading. Okay, so anyway, those videos for how-tos are in here. And then I also have all of my lectures. So Unit 1 or Competency 1 is broken up into 2 lectures. Competency 2, 3, and so on. So we have 12 competencies to get through. So all 12 videos, and again, those are roughly an hour and a half long. I go through the PowerPoints and discuss some of the basics. And by the way, the PowerPoint slides that go with all of these videos. Okay, so the competency 7, cardiovascular system. If I want the PowerPoint, say just click PowerPoint and then scroll down to competency 7, and you'll have access to those slides. Okay, so you can open them with Google Slides. And again, if you get these slides, you can also from here, if you want them, if you don't like Google Slides, you want them as PowerPoint slides, you can just hit File and then download as a PowerPoint. So you can do that if you want. All of my stuff is read only. So if you do want to type into anything, you have to click make a copy, and then you can make your own copy. Or like I said, you can download the PowerPoint. One thing I wanted to mention too is my PowerPoints have notes on the bottom. There we go. You can kind of see in the slide themselves, I do put some notes. This is cardiovascular. One of the things we need to do is kind of go back through some of the basic anatomy before we start talking about kind of the conduction system and the electricity of the heart. So anyway, those are the PowerPoints that go along with the videos. Okay. Sorry about that. So there you go. If I click that, you'll see the, and I thought I did have, I don't know if I do, some of these I had the, no, it just says this video discusses. So anyway, you can access the videos, and then these are the PowerPoints that go with those videos. All right. Let's see, what else are we doing? So here, in fact, so course YouTube playlist, PowerPoint slides go together. Helpful web links. This is just some extra, some other websites, YouTube playlists or websites that you may find helpful. And then modules and units. If you click that, that kind of is an all-in-one stop for all. And these dates, don't worry about these. I used to have due dates. I'll go in and get rid of those so you guys aren't confused. But obviously, this date has passed. But this is for a face-to-face or a hybrid course where I actually had specific due dates when folks had to turn stuff in. So anyway, if you open up any of those modules. There we go. I don't know why it opened into the YouTube playlist. So, but anyway, there we go. So if you open up the modules, you're going to have the engage, comprehend, practice, and apply. So it talks about some of the competencies or some of the objectives we do for the nervous system. And then there's a Padlet link in there that'll take you out to the Padlet. Now, everything in these modules, by the way, let me scroll back down. Everything in these modules is right here. It's either the PowerPoint slides, which you can access, or any of these tabs, basically the work that you're supposed to do. So anyway, here is what a Padlet looks like. Some of these, there it goes. It takes a little bit to populate, but you can see this is what the Padlet looks like. And there are multiple different videos that go with each of these concepts. And these are the different concepts or competencies that are concepts within the competencies that we're addressing. So watch any one of them or all of them and make a comment. You don't need a Padlet account. You can do any of this as you know, just an anonymous user, but make sure that you do put your name. See, this one says anonymous, but the person who oh, so here she is. So Delia is who did this one, and she ended up opening an account. How about this one? There we go. This is another good one. Kelly decided not to open an account, so she kept hers as anonymous, but she did put her name at the end. I've also seen some students, there we go, put in the, you can title your comment. So some students have put their name as the title, but you only need to reply to one of, or put a comment under one of these. And any of these pluses, if I want to comment on this, I just hit the plus and it'll open up the subject. You can just put your name in there if you want, and then you can type, you know, anywhere from 3 to 5 sentences about the specific video or website. Once you're done, though, you want to remember there's a Padlet quiz. It's a 1-question survey. So you can click that and open it. And again, let me show you these tabs over here. So you can access everything from these tabs over here. So here's that same, if I click this, it'll open the Padlet website. If I click this, it'll open to a 1-question little quiz, not a quiz, survey. Okay, so answer that, hit save and submit, and there you're done with the Padlet. So you have to do 12 of those. You can see they're all in here. Okay, so do 12 Padlets, and then the case studies are in here as well. Okay. These are just hyperlinks to to the case studies. So if I open this, case study 5, you're going to have the case study questions. Again, these are read only. So if you want this and to be able to type into this, you're going to have to click File and either make a copy if you're going to do a Google Doc, or you just want to hit download and then Microsoft Word doc. And if once you do that, at that point, it'll download this document and it's yours to type into. And then once you're ready to submit it, you just put it right into the Dropbox. I think all of you have done that before, and then hit submit. Okay. Now, some of these case studies have some of the extra info. Let me go back to a different one. The case study database changed their website, so my web links have changed a little bit. So for instance, this says click to open case study 7 questions. That's not going to be a problem. But this other link here, case study 7, if I click that, it may take me to something that looks like that. So what you need to do is, and I'll get rid of that so it's not confusing, but right underneath it is the actual case study. It's right here. It's in the PDF version. There we go. It's ischemic stroke, and there's the case study. So so this link here is no longer valid. So you have to open it, the PDF there on some of these. So keep that in mind. I'll send out an announcement as a reminder, and then one of these days I'll go in and try to delete that out of there. Okay, so Padlets, 12 of those, case studies, 12 of those. Yeah. By the way, too, and let me go back to our YouTube channel. Sorry about that. I'll go there. There we go. So in our course YouTube playlist, you'll find not only the videos of the discussions, but you'll also find I go through the case studies a little bit in each one of these. So this video, and I used to do what are called PhysioX labs. So a lot of the video time on some of these longer videos is taken up by PhysioX. You don't need to worry about that. We don't do that anymore. But I do have the time stamps of when I discuss the case studies. So this video, case study 1, I discuss at 5:18 until Thursday, so about a half hour on case study 1, about 18 minutes on case study 2. And then some of these, I made a separate video. So you can see they are there. Case study and PhysioX. So just the beginning of this is going to be the case study. This whole thing is on the case study. So anyway, I talk about the case studies. So make sure that you check those out if you're stumped. And then let's see, we already went through case studies, labs we already talked about. Again, you can access, and you're going to want to access those through there. And then lastly, well, 2 things, exam review questions. So these are the questions that are in the exam banks. So so generally what students do, and what I recommend students do, and I think most of them follow my recommendations, and that is, I would get the PowerPoint for unit 1 on the nervous system, and then I would watch the video lecture where I go through the PowerPoint, I discuss some of the key features. And I would have my exam review questions out and kind of going through those a little bit. And then I would do the Padlet and the case study, and maybe even take the exam a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, and then move on. So anyway, these are the review questions. I will tell you, exam one is the bulkiest. It's the most, it has the most questions in the test bank. So keep that in mind. And once you get past exam one, the rest of them have anywhere between 50 and 100 questions in the test bank. Exam one, though, is an anomaly. It has maybe like 200 or more. So anyway, I don't want to scare you away. I just want to be transparent. But you can take as often as you want. All right, exams. How do you get to them? Again, you can hit exams tab, and then there's exam one. It says there's a time limit of 2 hours. I told you earlier there's no time limit, but I do have a timer of 2 hours, but it won't stop at 2 hours. You can keep going. So if you do need more than 2 hours at the 2 hour mark, it'll just ask you if you want to continue. And if you're still doing the test, of course, you're gonna, hey, yes, I want to continue. Just keep that in mind. You'll get your grade after you take the test if you've gone over the time limit, but I have to go in and manually enter it in the Blackboard. So it may take a day or two to get it populated in the Blackboard. So anyway, it does say a 2 hour time limit, but like I said, you can go over that without penalty. There's no penalties in here. So I hit begin, and there they are. You get all four, and they're 40 questions, multiple choice. So you're gonna get 40 multiple choice questions all at once. Okay. So there you go. You can use Google, dig around to get the right answers. You guys were mostly nursing, and nurses today and in any day need to be as close to 100% correct at all times. And sometimes to be 100% correct, you need to consult other resources that are going to have the information available to you, so that when you do make that decision on whether or not to give patient X or Y, or give them X amount versus Y amount, we don't want to guess. We don't want to be unsure, 50-50 coin flip. We're talking life and death here. So if you need to consult someone or something or a website, whatever it is, to find the answers, you need to be as close to 100% correct as possible, then by all means do it, because you'll save lives by critically thinking and problem solving that way, instead of trying to remember. There's way too much to remember, trust me. I've been doing this for 25 years, and it's a lot to remember. So the internet's wonderful, right? So it helps us old people too, but it also helps you young people. It makes it a lot easier for us, so we don't have to feel so, our brains don't have to feel so full of info. But anyway, use your critical thinking and problem solving to get to the bottom of these answers to these questions, because they are clinically relevant and you need to know them. All right, that's it. If you have any questions, email me. No, and of course, the rest of this is my grades, and you can email that way. But anyway, if you have questions or comments or concerns, just let me know and we'll get them taken care of. Have a great summer and a great semester.